Today on the Pressure Pod, we are talking about one of the most exhausting and unspoken pressures in ministry: people pleasing. As a pastor, people pleasing can feel almost holy, but it will eventually wear you out. And it might be wearing you down right now. Let me kind of set the scene. Let's just pretend it's Sunday. The service just ended. You exhale. You're mingling and shaking hands, and maybe, hopefully, even meeting a new guest or two. And someone walks up, and they deliver a sideways comment, or a passive aggressive prayer request, or your inbox dings on the way home, and it's hey, just wanted to share a concern. Does that sound familiar? I led Woodstock City Church for over 13 years. I've been in ministry for 20, but as a lead pastor for 13. And man, I had so many of those happen every week, every Sunday, but even during the week too. I remember earlier in my kind of lead pastor career, I would preach, and afterwards every week, at least somebody would walk up to me and say, "You're really getting better at this." Was that a compliment? I don't even know what to do with that. Eventually, it happens so frequently. I eventually just started saying, "Well, I hope so. I hope we're all getting better at things that are important to us." I don't know if that was the right response, but I'll tell you what, it can be frustrating. The other side of it, though, is wanting to please everybody, which is even probably more dangerous. Here's what I have seen in pastors again and again. And of course, as I mentioned, I've experienced this myself a lot. The weight of people's expectations can be heavier than the work of ministry itself. Let me say that again, because I think it's very true. The weight of the expectations that people bring into your church, that can be harder, heavier than the work of ministry itself. And the reason is that it's silent. It's subtle in a lot of ways. It kind of sneaks into your body and almost disguising itself as being a good shepherd. Here's the truth, though, right? Churches are magnets for sick people, spiritually sick people. And sick people can kind of be messy. They're messy, and that's okay. Messy people aren't the problem. They're our ministry. The problem is when their expectations quietly become your assignment. That's when we cross the line. Let's talk for a few minutes about how to deal with this pressure, because it is a significant one. I said this already, kind of, but there's a fine line between pastoring people and pleasing people. And if you're not careful, you end up confusing faithfulness with approval. Let me just say this kind of as clearly as I can. And I want to be kind about it, but this is important to hear. You are not called to be liked. You are called to love. And love doesn't mean access, especially unlimited. Doesn't mean performance. It doesn't even mean agreement, for sure. Here's a reality, and you know this, but let me just say it. You're going to disappoint people. You already have, maybe today. You're going to be misunderstood. That may have even happened today. But your job isn't applause, it's obedience. So how do you do that practically? If you've listened to any of the pressure pods before, or if you know me, insanely practical application. That's why we do this. So I don't just want to give you an idea. I want to help you think about what to do with it. So how can we be more intentional? How can we be more practical so we don't accidentally drift into people pleasing? Here's a couple of things. The first one, you can say no, and you can say no without guilt. I talk about this a lot in other posts and other podcasts. I've talked about this, but every yes is an opportunity cost, because it means you're saying no to other things. When you say yes to someone, you're saying no to other things. For instance, maybe you're saying no to your family. Maybe you're saying no to your own just emotional health in a moment. I mean, there's all sorts of things we're saying no to when we say yes to something. So it's okay to say no to something and to do it without guilt if it allows you to say yes to something that's more important in the moment. That's okay. Here's another one. It's okay to let go of someone's disappointment, because that's not your burden. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should disappoint people on purpose. You shouldn't be a jerk. Obviously, you're a shepherd, you're a pastor. But if someone is disappointed, if they have an expectation that's unfair, unstated, and they're disappointed with you, it's okay. It's not your burden to carry that. Here's another one. Jesus drew boundaries. I think it's okay for you to do that too. I mean, Jesus often went away to be by himself. I mean, he was fully God. He was also fully man. He experienced exhaustion. He had to sleep. He had to eat. He had to get away. I think it's okay for you. You need boundaries in your life. Listen, I talk about this pressure all the time. No job is harder than jobs of a pastor, senior pastor especially. But every pastor, every ministry worker knows this. It's a hard job. It's one that comes home with you. It follows you home, even when you try to leave it at the office, leave it at the church. So it's okay to draw boundaries. I mean, this may sound crazy. It's okay to put your phone on Do Not Disturb. It's okay to not check your email every night, all weekend. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be available. When tragedy strikes, you probably need to be available. You need to be able to be reached. So I don't know that you should turn your phone off completely in this job, but I do think it's okay to have boundaries. And it's okay to draw some clear ones, especially with your staff or your elders or your volunteers, so they know that they can leave you and let you be during certain times. Here's the last one, kind of practically. I think it's okay too, and it's really important to give some of those expectations back to the one, capital O, who called you. God's fully capable of handling those expectations of other people. It's not your job to please everyone. And God's certainly not trying to please everyone. In fact, in some ways, he's doing the opposite. He's allowing hardship to happen. He's moving people into brokenness to bring them back to salvation, to bring them to himself. He called you to this, so just let him carry some of that stuff. If I were sitting in front of you, which I get to do with a lot of pastors, here's what I would encourage you to do. Tonight, especially if this is a Sunday, if you're listening to this on a Sunday, but this is true any day, take a few minutes tonight and just breathe. Just sit down, lay down, and just take some deep breaths. But bring those expectations, bring the conversations, the weight, bring all of that to your Heavenly Father who called you into this work and would love nothing more than to sustain you in this work. Name those expectations and then release them, because you can't really let go of what you can't name. So name them. Name the things that you're struggling with. Name the things that are bothering you. Name the expectations you feel like are placed on your shoulders that are weighing you down, that are creating the pressure. Name them to God, and then let him take them from you. And remind yourself, you're probably doing much better than you think. And more importantly, you're doing what you were called to do. This is not, I said this already, this is not an excuse to be rude or to be aloof. I mean, you're a pastor, but this is permission to let go of the expectations and the pressure that leads too many pastors to focus on pleasing people over pastoring them.